2.1
Die, died.
Need, needed.
Stay, stayed.
Learn, learned.
Work, worked.
Start, started.
Move, moved.
Develop, developed.
Decide, decided.
Continue, continued.
Visit, visited.
Travel, travelled. Recording 2.2 A.
How did you meet your wife, Liam?
When we first met, she was going out with my best friend.
B.
Where did you first meet your husband, Hilary?
We were standing in a queue at the supermarket, and he said hello.
C.
Where did you meet your wife, Colin?
I was traveling back from China, and we met on the plane.
Recording 2.3 Travelling back from China. I was travelling back from China. I was travelling back from China and we met on the plane.
Standing in a queue at the supermarket. We were standing in a queue at the supermarket. We were standing in a queue at the supermarket, and he said hello.
Going out with my best friend. She was going out with my best friend. When we first met, she was going out with my best friend. Recording 2.4 1.
I first met Ken when we were waiting in a supermarket queue.
2.
It was raining, so he offered me a lift home.
3.
While we were driving to my flat, he gave me his phone number.
4.
I saw him in the supermarket again a few days later.
5.
He was talking to a friend, and he didn't see me.
6.
So I left while they were waiting to pay.
7.
I was walking home when a car stopped next to me. It was him.
8.
I invited him to dinner, and that was 20 years ago.
Recording 2.5
How did you meet your wife, Liam?
When we first met, she was going out with my best friend, Ben. That was 2 years ago.
Did you like her the first time you met her?
Yes, of course. She was very beautiful and really funny.
So what happened?
Well, I went to Ben's birthday party and Jenny wasn't there. Apparently they broke up in January and Ben was already going out with someone else.
Did you call Jenny straight away?
No, not straight away. I waited until the day after the party.
And then?
Well, I asked her out and she said yes. We went on our first date the next weekend. I took her to the cinema and then to my favourite restaurant.
Was it a good first date?
No, not exactly. She was very ill after the meal. Food poisoning. She was ill for a week.
Oh, no!
Yes, it wasn't a very good start. Anyway, we started going out in March, and I fell in love with her very quickly. Then, about 8 months later, we were having a drink in a bar, and she was laughing a lot. I just thought, I want to hear that laugh forever. So I asked her to marry me.
And she said yes.
Well, not immediately. She was very surprised and didn't know what to say. Then a few days later, I was cooking dinner and she just said, OK, let's get married. And so we got engaged that day.
And when did you get married?
6 months after that.
Were there lots of people at the wedding?
Yes, there were. About 200.
And was Ben there?
Yes, he was. He was my best man.
Nice.
Recording 2.6.
Was. Were. Were.
Recording 2.7.
There was once an Indian king called Shahryar. One day, King Shahryar found his wife with another man, so he killed her and her lover. After that, the king married a different woman every day and killed her the next morning before she could stop loving him. This continued for 3 years. Shahrazad was the clever and beautiful daughter of the king's advisor. When her father told her what was happening, she decided to marry the king. Shahrazad's father tried to stop her because he knew she was going to die. But Shahrazad had a plan to save herself and all the women in the kingdom. The king and Shahrazad got married a few days later. After the wedding, while the king was drinking with his friends, Shahrazad went to find her sister. "I need your help," said Shahrazad. "Come to the palace this evening and ask me to tell you a story."
Recording 2.8.
So that night, Shahrazad was getting ready for bed when her sister came to visit her. She began telling her sister a story called The Fisherman and the Genie. While she was telling the story, the king came into the room. He started listening to her story too, and became more and more interested. Shahrazad continued telling the story all night, but she stopped just before the end and said, "The morning's here, husband. Am I going to die now?" "No, no," said the king. "Tell me the end of the story." "I'll tell you this evening, but not before," said Shahrazad with a smile. That night, Shahrazad finished the story, and then immediately began another. This continued night after night. The king never heard the end of a story until the next evening. He couldn't kill his wife because he always wanted to know how each story ended. As time passed, the king fell in love with Shahrazad. He knew he could never kill her because he couldn't live without her and her stories. To show Shahrazad he really loved her, the king married her again. The stories Shahrazad told the king became the stories of the 1001 Nights.
Recording 2.9.
And. To. Of. The. Her.
Recording 2.10. 1.
Hello, I'm Celia.
Hello, Celia. I'm Sammy.
Nice to meet you. Are you enjoying the party?
Yes, it's great.
How do you know David and Jane?
I met them when I was travelling in Africa last year.
Oh, really? I'd love to go there. One day, maybe.
And what about you? How do you know them?
Oh, I live next door.
Right.
Do you live near here?
No, actually I live in Manchester, but I'm down here because...
2.
Simon, I'd like you to meet my sister, Paula.
Nice to meet you, Paula.
Hello. Didn't we meet in Milan last year?
You mean at the film festival?
Yes, that's right. You were talking to a friend of mine, Sally Brigg.
Oh, yes, I remember. How is Sally, anyway?
Oh, she's fine. Working hard, as usual.
Right.
Where did you meet David?
We went to school together.
Really? Do you see each other often?
No, not very often. The last time was when I went to...
3.
Hello. You're a student at the English Centre, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Sorry, have we met before?
No, I don't think so. I'm Stephen Black. I work with David and Jane at the centre.
Nice to meet you. My name's Carlos.
Are you a friend of David's?
No, I'm a friend of Jane's. Well, actually, she's my English teacher. She invited the whole class to the party.
Recording 2.11.
How do you know David and Jane?
Do you live near here?
Didn't we meet in Milan last year?
Do you know Pam Jones?
Where did you meet David?
You're a student at the English Centre, aren't you?
Are you a friend of David's?
What do you do?
Recording 2.12.
Let's keep in touch.
Yes, sure. Here's my email address.
Oh, thanks a lot. Here's mine.
Cheers. See you later, maybe.
It was nice meeting you.
You too. See you at school, probably.
Yes, I'm sure we will.
It was nice to see you again.
You too. I hope we meet again soon.
Yes, I hope so. Bye.
Recording 2.13.
It was nice to see you again.
I hope we meet again soon.
It was nice meeting you.
See you at school, probably.
Let's keep in touch.
See you later, maybe.